Hello, everyone, and welcome to the middle of the desert right here in Nevada. It is the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and we're here for the Champ Speed Shop 130 right here on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel for the Output Racing League. And I hope you are all having a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening, whichever it happens to be in your particular part of the world. We currently have 19 cars signed up for racing action here tonight. And we've heard that for the next 2 weeks there will be no Christian Bud. So that's going to open up things as far as who is going to win is concerned. Christian's partner has a birthday tomorrow, his wife. So happy birthday to Mrs. Bud. I live in the future, so it was already her birthday here. And then he doesn't like Talladega in these cars, so he's not going to participate. Cars getting ready to do a pit party for Travis and Jaron on the front row. Jaron Sanchez, league owner and operator. That league founder, owner and operator. Everyone's all lined up. And they're off and racing. And it's Travis Massio with the early advantage. Sanchez quickly into the inside, trying to take the lead away. Look at the double O, Jonas Marquez, who got loose going through turns 1 and 2. 20 cars now signed up with the addition of Ken Campbell. Only 2 cars have not taken lap times yet, though I expect that to change as they go 4 wide down the main straight. Chris Champone making a welcome return to racing action. He's been out for a month and a half. Been doing some really cool things in real life. But it's good to see the number 12 back on track. And the 07 of Greg Elliott has taken the top spot in the timetables just now. So a 29.857, I think that is. Or just, no, sorry, 657. I can't read. All through the grass, that's a 29. Nathan Moit. Got to get it up though. Managed to keep it out of the pit lane, and he'll be able to continue on. Although I suspect he'll probably just park the car and reset. The track position is a premium around here. You want that clean air on your nose. No, Christian Health trying to do some big things. The 13, Travis Smasher getting loose on the nose there at a 9. That's Joe Slama. Nice little group of cars we got here. Jaron Sanchez out in front. He took the lead at the start of the pit party and just drove away. And that's why I say that fresh air is going to do a lot as the 12, Chris Champeau, gets turned by the 39 of James Watson. Tristan Health looking pretty good. He's currently 5th in the standings. As around goes Massey, his rear tyres lifted up off the ground and wow, what a hit. That was huge. We're definitely going to have to call a hearse for that one. Fizikami looking pretty strong there in the 2nd position in this pit party here. Carl McCoy right on his tail. These two just did 200 laps of Dover in the Xfinity car, in which Carl McCoy won that race. Brian came P4 and Scott Rickard, he came in P5 in that race. Got passed on the last lap from Mr. Pizzacemi. Just Matt Horton, who has not set a lap time yet. Everyone else has done so. Top 10. As it stands, we'll bring it up nice and big on the screen. It's Elliott with a 29.657, and then McAnally just 0.008 of a second behind him. That's Thad Failer, Chris Champeau, Tristan Health, Scott Rickard, Nate Amoit, Carl McCoy. The top 8 all within a 10th of a second. There's Jaron Sanchez, Luke Founder in P9, and Jonas Marquez currently in the 10th position. As they're going to go 4 wide going through turns 3 and 4. As I think Tyre started catching up to Sanchez. Around has gone Pizzacemi. And they're going to have another little contact just at the end of pit lane. Oh, very loose. That's McCoy. Tristan Health shuffled from left to right behind him. Got him loose on entry to the corner. That's something we're going to have to watch for as the race goes on. You can't dive in front of the car behind you. And they can't move erratically behind you without you getting loose. Considering these guys are already looking fairly loose on corner exit, it's just going to spell disaster if you do that a little bit too close to the sun. Got about 9 laps left to practice now. Just under 5 minutes. Night ones will be getting ready to just do a quick little qualifying practice run. Get out there, do their 2 laps, bring it back in. They play the cards right, they could probably get about 3 of those in. Niner Joe Slimer on screen right now. He's currently in the 12th position, just outside that top 10. It's looking like we might be sorted here with 20 cars. There is still the chance for someone to come in late. Normally, we'd probably see Andrew Griesbaum coming into the server here pretty shortly. 68 machine. That's Masia who's gone around coming out of turn 4. There's a 29 and Nathan Moy. He's going underneath of Mark Pentecoff. Mark, who is doing a long run here, he's got 19 laps on those tyres. And Brian Pitzcami's just revealed that not only does he have to do back-to-back races, 200 laps at Dover, 130 laps here, but he also has a cold. To which I say, get good, scrub. As time is ticking away, it is almost time for qualifying. So with that being said, we are going to go to a commercial break, and when we come back we will see the results of qualifying, and we'll get ready to get going here for 130 laps for the Las Vegas Speedway for the Champ Speedshop 130. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Racing action will be coming up very shortly. Welcome back to the Champ Speed Shop 130 right here from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel for the Output Racing League. Qualifying is just now complete. The order is set. 22 cars are going to take the green flag. 33-17 strength of field. And our grid order is going to be Chris Champeau on the pole in the 12 with the 9 of Joe Slama out of P2. P3, we will have the 99 of Tristan Helf with P4, the 68 of Andrew Griesbaum. P5 will be the 07 of Greg Elliott with P6, the 39 of James Watson. P7 will see the 55, the Campbell Soup man himself, Ken Campbell, the 15 with Travis Massier in the 13 out of P8. P9 is the 5 of Mark Pentecoff with P10. Scott Rickard in the 05. P11, Brian Pizzicami in the 78 car with P12, the 74 of Austin Collins. P13, the 1 of Logan McAnally with P14, the 29 of Nate Amoit. P15 will have the 16 of Carl McCoy with P16, the 8 of Matt Horton. P17 is the 21 of Thad Failer with P18, the 4 of Jaron Sanchez. P19 is the 77 of Avery McDonald with P20, the 6 of Mitch Pape. P21 is the double of Jonas Marquez, and last but not least, David Huckleberry in the 22 will be out of 22nd. I'm just a little bit confused because I'm looking at that order that thing just gave me, and it's completely different to the order that I'm seeing in my list. 3 cars not going to make the start of the race. That's the 1 of Logan McAnally, the 8 of Matt Horton, and Mitch Pape in the 6. Austin Collins in the 74 car is starting from the pits as well. So everything just a little bit of all over the place at the moment as far as the back of the pack is concerned. 12th, 13th, 16th, and 20th, all starting from the pits or not making the start of the race. So we're going to focus on where things do make sense, the front of the field. Chris Champeau and Joe Slama, they're going to lead us off for the start of our 130 lap journey here. Las Vegas Motor Speedway, one of the favorites of the drivers. A lot of drivers will say that Las Vegas is one of their favorite tracks, as the pace car is going to make that hard left turn into pit lane. The leader has lane choice. The first start is on green. All the restarts will be on the leader inside of the restart zone, and we're off and racing. And it's immediately advantage Champeau as we go diving down into turns 1 and 2. Joe Slama was going to try and squeeze in behind him, but just misjudged it ever so slightly. He's going to have to run the momentum of that high line to try and maintain second place, and he will do so over Tristan Helf. Already some action towards the mid-pack. I think that was the 05 of Scott Rickard that I saw getting a little bit squirrely. Speaking of, the number 5 of Mark Pentecoff. Got a little bit untidy there as well, coming out of turn 4. Chris Champeau leading the first lap of 130 here tonight. Now, if these guys play their cards right, we'll probably see 2 green flag stops if we go green the whole way. But a caution is always just around the corner, especially with the way these cars handle with the draft model. It's very, very easy to make one small mistake and for it to all go from chocolates to boiled lollies. Currently Currently looking at the 13 of Travis Massey as the 78 of Brian Pizzakemi gets to his right rear and looks to make the move. That is for the 10th position. And Pizzakemi will take it coming through turns 3 and 4. So league founder Jaron Sanchez just in the back there as well as the 13 of Travis Massey got super loose. Cause all kinds of sack ups here at the back. Sanchez takes advantage and gets 2 for 1 as he got around the 29 of Nate Amoy. And Massey just starting to drop like a stone a little bit while he just tries to refocus and get his tyres back under him. Looking at the 78 Brian Pizzakemi, he's all over the back of the 16 of Kyle McCoy. Remember, Pizzakemi started on the same row as the 05 of Scott Rickard. Technically, they were both the last to qualify, but they put in time so bad. They were 30 seconds off the pace. Minimum. Coming down into turns 1 and 2 once more. We've got a little bit of action just up ahead as the 05 of Scott Rickard trying to work his way through the field. He's on the inside of Ken Campbell. Couldn't quite get the move made. The momentum of that outside line just too strong for Scott to really make a dent in Campbell there. Looks like if you want to try and make the move, you've got to run high 1 lap and then dive it up the inside. Possibly high 1 and 2, then go low in 3 and 4. That would be my best guess anyway. As now it looks like Rickard under attack from Kyle McCoy in the 16 machine. Rickard will use that momentum to maintain position ahead, and he's going to carry it through to go to the outside of Ken Campbell. Campbell's entry into 1 and 2 is going to be a little bit sacrificed as the 07 of Greg Elliott's going to try and do something similar to get around Andrew Griesbaum. And they've got it to work. Outside line making the moves. As Elliott gets around Griesbaum, Rickard gets around both of them. And it looks like a lot of people getting around Andrew Griesbaum right now. That middle lane working an absolute treat for making passes. I wouldn't be surprised if we see people just naturally running in that second lane just to get a little bit more speed going. The fastest lap of the race currently done by our 19th place driver, Austin Collins. He did start from the pits and he's not quite at the back of the pack yet, so he's free to run whatever line he wants. As there's still so many battles going on here out towards the front. This is where the chess game is going to start. Eyes will be starting to go off ever so slightly. And this is where mistakes can start creeping in. Before Jaron Sanchez trying to get onto the back. The 68 of Andrew Griesbaum. Of course, Jaron Sanchez is the founder of the Output Racing League. Pretty sure this is pretty much the only racing he does all week is right here with us on a Tuesday night. He's looking pretty strong right now. He's sitting in 12th. He'll probably want to change that to a top 10. He got super loose coming out of turn 4. Took it down to the apron, and he has lost a lot of speed and momentum. He was stuck on the bottom of 3 wide going into turn 1. He's still in that battle. Avery McDonald and Jonas Marquez. Jonas and Avery both have been able to get around him. Travis Massia also following suit, taken to that middle lane to get around him. And Jaron Sanchez just went from chocolates to boiled lollies for sure, losing 4 positions in that little exchange. Go back to focusing anywhere and everywhere. That is the 21 of Thad Falo on screen. Oh, something happened to Griesbaum there. Yes, I think it was Griesbaum. It was a yellow car for sure, that's all I know. I think it was Avery. Avery McDonald. He's losing a lot of ground now. He got loose, it looked like, coming out of turn 2. And just pushed up against the wall a little bit. I was going to say slammed, but it wasn't really slammed. It was like he has grinding himself against the wall on entry to 3. Oh yeah, something's definitely wrong with that 77 machine now. He's probably got some big damage on it, and if he's not careful, he'll have to bring that in to get it looked at by his crew. Look at the 16 of Kyle McCoy. Just behind him is the 15 of Ken Campbell. And behind Ken is a 2-car battle for the 9th position between Pezzacami and Nate Amoy. Nate looking to the inside of turn 3. Pezzacami hoping to keep the momentum up on that outside line and stay in front. And he will do so coming out of turn 4. Fastest car last lap was Tristan Help in a 99 car, sitting in P3. And it looks like the 74 of Austin Collins has now gotten onto the back of the pack after starting in the pits. So we'll start seeing his name going up the totem pole as he starts picking them off one by one. Go back to focusing anywhere and everywhere. It looks like for the most part people have just thinned out a bit. No one really making any battle cries at the moment. There's a 74 of Austin Collins. He's made a position. He got around Avery McDonald. Now he's going to start chasing down Dave Huckleberry. I think we've entered a little bit of a lull in the action. Everyone's focused on trying to save their tyres, trying to work out when they're going to pit. Whether they're going to go for an overcut or an undercut. think overcutting the first stint's probably the right idea. Then it gives you a lot of freedom on what to do, as Tristan Helf has actually taken over the second position. And he is right on the tail of our leader, Chris Champeau. He is right up on his tail. Look at him go. Tristan, a little bit tight in the dirty air, being right up on the chuff of the 12, Chris Champeau. This is Champ's sponsored race, so he won't want to have a good showing on it. And he's been doing it good so far, leading every lap. It's Tristan doing the last in line, up next to the fence, trying to get all the momentum he can. And oh, that got close. He's down on the apron, kicking up the dust as he comes back onto the track. He will take the lead now. Oh, and he got a little bit loose. That allowed Chris to get back under him. Chris holds him up a little bit higher on the entry to the corner. But Tristan once more will try and use all the momentum of that outside line. Close quarters combat. And it looks like Tristan's just going to have his nose ahead at the line the first time that we have had a lead change at the line. Plenty of movement on in the back of the pack. I can't tell who lost the position there, but a lot of positional change. Oh, it's that Thaylor. He's in the pits. What happened to Thad? Back this up, see if we can see what happened to him. Down on the apron there. What, did he just get loose or did he smack the fence? Oh, that was a big fence smack. Oh yeah, he'll definitely have damage on that 21 machine for sure from that. Go back to our battle for the lead, and Tristan's starting to pull away from Chris Champeau. Chris good at the small stint pace. Tristan Helf is one who can mix it up with Chris Champeau. Oh, not with Chris Champeau, with Christian Budd. Most winningest driver in output history. As we have a battle on here. This is Ken Campbell, and it's Ken Campbell we're looking at, but behind him is the battle, and in front of him is the battle. Now behind him is the battle between Pizzakemi and Nader Moit, and in front of him is the battle between Scott Rickard and Kyle McCoy. Got Rickard on the outside, McCoy on the inside. These two are good friends off the track, but on the track it's fierce competition. As the 05 trying to take the position away and hold it, and he will do so for P6. And it looks like Nader Moit has gotten around the Pizzakemi machine behind. It is no becoming complacent in these cars. You gotta make sure you pay attention to everything you do. One small mistake, just like that, and you can end up like Thad Thaylor in the pits. Scott Rickard got the fence. He's lost so much momentum coming out of turn 4 that both the 16 and the 15 have gotten back around him. That's what happens when you push too hard. As Thad Thaylor is back out on track, 6 laps down. As now the battle is on again. This time it's Nader Moit trying to get around Scott Rickard. Scott, he's got to have some kind of damage on that 05 car. He doesn't have the same punchiness that he had previously. Maybe he's a little bit gun shy running that high line now. As Nate moves onto the high line to try and defend. And he will do so with ease. Oh, but he hits the fence as well. That was probably a bigger hit than what Scott gave it. Complacency kills cars. As Nate's going to try and dive it back underneath of Brian Pizzicami. You got to run on the outside and then diamond it down to get underneath of Brian. Brian now using that momentum of the outside line. And he will keep his car ahead for the moment. Tristan Helf has pulled out a 2-second lead over Chris Champeau. As now, Chris Cammy gets clean and clear of the 29 machine. Andrew Griesbaum just in behind these guys. He'll be looking to take advantage of any damage that may be on this 29 car. Pizzicami now looking to try and take advantage of Scott Rickard while he is the driving wounded. Because there's going to be damage on his car too. Oh, a little bit loose was Rickard as Pizzicami got to him. They're going to go 3 wide for turns of 1 and 2. As Nader Moit trying to take advantage of Pizzicami getting that slight little bit held up. Pizzicami will make sure he stays in front though. And I think I saw some battling just up ahead of these guys as well. Oh! Wow, that was close. Greg Elliott in the 07. I think he bounced off the wall. He just about caught the right rear of Ken Campbell. They both lived to fight another lap. But that was so very close to being disaster for both of them. And it looks like the 07 of Elliott is going to come in. He's got big damage on the car. He must have hit the wall a ton. Now I'm going to go to the 39 of James Watson because he's battling hard with the 9 of Joe Slammer here. These guys trying to battle over the 3rd position, but right behind them is Carl McCoy, and he's looming. Bit of differing lines going on there. Our 3rd and 4th place cars. This could end up being a race of attrition. As we've got more pit stops happening, David Huckleberry comes in. I think before we get too excited with all the pit stops, we are going to go for a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have the first round of green flag stops coming up for you very shortly. welcome back to the Champ Speed Shop 130 here from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Green flag stops are rolling. Collins, Pentecost, Marquez and Sanchez have all come in for their stops. I saw Elliott was only one lap down, so obviously he didn't have as much damage as I thought he might have. We're sitting on our second place car right now. Our second place car. That's Kyle McCoy, as he's gotten around the 12 of Chris Champeau. He also got around James Watson. His car's coming out of the pits, car's coming into the pits. Here comes Ken Campbell to the outside of Chris Champeau now. And Campbell will take over that third position. The leader, Tristan Helf, has come in. Joining him in the pits, we're going to have James Watson, Nathan Moit and Scott Rickard. But obviously there's a little bit of a plan going on with the way these pit stops are going to unfold. Looks like it's going to be like a 45-90 and it's 40 laps to the end. That would probably be the smart call anyway. But again, the longer you go on the run, the more freedom you have to choose what you're going to do when it comes to this second run. As Jonas Marquez trying to get around Chris Champeau, he's on fresher tyres. Kyle McCoy just racking up the leader lap points right now. Velo gets underneath of Pizzakemi. Not quite there actually. Pizzakemi with a great run out of turn 4. As I think that's Avery McDonald that's just come back onto the track. And into the pits comes Andrew Griesbaum. Thad Paylor trying to get to the outside of Joe Slama. That's Greg Elliott forcing his way to the inside of the lead lap cars. That seems a little unnecessary to me. Don't want to be doing that on corner entry. Especially when the outside is such a viable option. Oh, look at how busy this little section is. Only about 6 cars left to pit. Avery McDonald starts carving his way through our top drivers. And we've got Champeau, Slama and Pizzakemi all coming into the pits simultaneously. Looks like Travis Massio might be joining them. So it's just McCoy and Campbell who are still yet to pit, 16 and the 15 respectively. And Greg Elliott is effectively the race leader right now. He got the undercut. And has come out in front of Tristan Helf. As McCoy and Campbell both come into the pits. So everyone now has pitted. Elliott and Helf have taken back over the lead of the race. And Helf immediately trying to make the move on Elliott. He wants to lead back. He's led the most laps so far and he wants to keep that going. He makes it look easy. has 7 lap pressure tyres than Greg Elliott. Start going through the field again. Just looking anywhere and everywhere. Christian Poe and Joe Slama have really fallen from grace during those pit stop sequence. They're both going to get underneath of Mark Pentacuff there. And that is full position. Pentacuff, who was sitting P10, now demoted down to 12th. As a Academy going to look at following suit and going underneath of Pentacuff. And our top two have a massive gap over James Watson in third. Watson himself actually having just over a second between himself and Scott Rickard. What's the difference in tyres there? There's no difference in tyres between second and third. They also both have better tyres than Greg Elliott. Tristan Help with the same tyres as those guys. So 4 of our top 5 on the same lap strategy. And everyone in the top 6 with double digits on their tyres. There's 12 Chris Champeau just peeking to the outside of Griesbaum. Couldn't quite get the run, but looks like he's going to get it here down the main straight as he's got his nose in line with the back bumper of the 68 machine. Pinching him down as they go through turns 1 and 2. And Chris Champeau is going to take over, what's that, the 9th position with ease. Looks like Slama going to follow him through. And it looks like we've entered another little bit of a lull with everyone being separated so much. And that's that Baylor down on the apron. Did that have damage? Very possibly. It looks like he's down on the right front. So it looks like Thad Faylor might have caught the fence once more. As it's starting to get a little bit spicy here. As that was Austin Collins in the 74 who was just shoved up out the way by the 15 of Ken Campbell. Austin, who has pitted, he has 20 laps on his tyres, 8 laps older than everyone else around him. And it looks like Thad Baylor has pulled the pin. He's OUT out of this race. As Austin Collins' 74 machine definitely struggling with these tyres compared to everyone else. So we started with 22. We had 3 bow out before even taking the green flag. We've got 1 retirement. We've got 2 cars 1 lap down. We have 16 on the lead lap. That could change very soon though, as Jonas Marquez is being stalked by our leader Tristan Health. Looking at Bizakemi as he's trying to close in on the 9 of Joe Slama. Soon to be the battle for P9. And just look at the speed that Pizzacchemi has on that bottom line. Slama got loose. And that makes it easy for Pizzacchemi to get around him. I think that's a byproduct of these cars. Get right up behind someone like that, you can make them loose very easy. As we have reached the halfway point, 65 laps down, 65 to go. Pizzacchemi a little bit balked there by David Huckleberry. The speed difference was not one that I guess Pizzacchemi was expecting, as everyone else gets around Huckleberry. And things have calmed down once more. Was a change for a position down towards the back. Travis Massia getting around Mark Pentecourt. Let's go check in on our leader as he is going around the double O of Jonas Marquez. Jonas runs about 3/4 track, allowing easy passage for the 99 machine. Now we're looking at the 05 of Scott Rickard. He's on the tail of Nathan Moit as they're both going under the 77 of McDonald. McDonald, who is one of the cars a lap down. 15 cars left on the lead lap. Campbell's looking pretty quick here as he's getting up onto the back of Scott Rickard. Looking to the outside, will he be able to make that move? He's got the momentum, he's got his nose there. And now he has the draft of Nate as well. Look behind him to Chris Champeau. And Kyle McCoy has made the move stick. Actually, no, it's not Kyle. Who did I say it was? Ken Campbell. The cars look similar in this light. Now Campbell getting to the outside of Nader Moit, and he'll make that move stick. Now he's going to chase down the Kyle McCoy machine as Campbell has breached the top 5. Campbell, the fastest car on track last lap. McCoy was a little bit faster this lap. That's because Campbell had to make overtakes. Actually, look like the 16 starting to close in on the 39 of James Watson. 6 laps difference in the tyres here. To the outside goes McCoy. He gets the momentum. Look at him go. Just pick up the throttle so much earlier on that mid-line. And he makes the move stick. With that, I think we're going to go to another quick commercial break. And when we come back, we'll have the second round of green flag stops, and then we'll be going to the end. So make sure you guys stay tuned. More racing action from the Champ Speed Shop 130 will be coming up very shortly. Well, welcome back to the Champ Speed Shop 130 here from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We're looking at our leader, Tristan Helf, who has almost a 7-second gap over Kyle McCoy in P2. McCoy just getting around Greg Elliott for second. James Watson right there as well, looking to take third. Elliott's tyres have just started to fall off a cliff a little bit. And he hasn't had the same pace that he was enjoying while sitting in second. He takes the low line, trying to put the dirty air on the nose of the 39 car. This is your battle for P3 on the track. Could expect to see pit stops anywhere between now and lap 95. Oh, as Elliott gets loose. That spooked James a little bit, but James jams the car up the inside. And he has taken over the third position, clean and clear now. And Campbell looming there in the background. He'll be looking to take over fourth and then try and make the charge after the 39 of Watson. Forced to go to the inside as Elliott just looks so uncomfortable there on the back straight. Car was doing all kinds of dances there. Campbell up on the back of Watson now. He's going to peek to the outside. And he is going to make that move stick for third. There's a lap car between these two cars and our second place driver of Kyle McCoy. And that driver is Jonas Marquez in the 00 machine. Darren Sanchez, league founder, close to going a lap down. We have a little bit of a battle here between Joe Slama and Austin Collins. Slama starting to lose the handle on his car a little bit as well as Austin gets up his inside. Slama trying to use that momentum to stay ahead. Good side-by-side battling from these two. Both very experienced campaigners here in the Output Racing League now. And it's like Slama take that position clean and clear. As Sanchez has now gone a lap down. The next car on the list for Tristan Help will be the 13 of Travis Massier. Collins trying to fight back on the outside of Slama. He's got the momentum up. He's got his nose in position. But if he can pull the move off, will be another story as the 5 of Mark Pentecoff has come in for his second stop. Also got Griesbaum in this little battle. Huckleberry has come in. Collins takes the position back with authority. Griesbaum unable to take any advantage. Get a roar from the engine there of Mark Pentecoff as he was coming out of the pits. Now Collins trying to look to get around the 12 of Chris Champeau as Joe Slama has come into the pits. He's going to be the first one to blink from the top 10. Slow car there. Not sure who that is, but oh, he's in the way. Oh, that was Huckleberry, I think. All kinds of chaos was ensuing there. As in the pits comes Elliot Champeau. I think Huckleberry was just trying to get back up to speed. Sanchez also in the pits. Collins all over the tail of Scott Rickard. They both get around the double O of Marquez. Really starting to turn into a bit of a barnstormer race. The handle has completely come off of the 05 machine, Scott Rickard. I think his tyres are pretty roasted. And look at the way the sun just comes into the cars. They go through turn 1. That's going to be very distracting. as Watson, Pizzacami, Masia, Marquez, and now Tristan Help have all come into the pits. McCoy following suit, so too does Ken Campbell. Our top three are in. Hollins is in. Griesbaum stayed out. We have three cars that haven't pitted. That's Griesbaum, Rickard, and Amoit. Griesbaum got to stay out an extra lap. He's got to get those leader lap bonus points. Sanchez going to get one of his laps back. He gets up the inside of Griesbaum. Huckleberry looking to follow suit. The laps are going to start ticking down pretty quickly here. To the inside of Huckleberry and Griesbaum. Here comes Campbell. Oh, Griesbaum caught the fence. It's going to hold him up a little bit. Still Griesbaum, Rickard, and Amoit get to pit. Fastest lap last time around was done by the 16 of McCoy. As Rickard really struggling in that 05 machine. I'm surprised he hasn't pit already. Donald in the 77's coming into the pits. It looks like Andrew Griesbaum is pitting. This is going to put Rickard in the lead. He's going to get the leader lap bonus point. This is quite a good battle here between Watson and Slama as Rickard comes in this time. That'll leave Nate Amoit as the last car to pit. And he comes in as well. Tristan Help will go back to the lead. Pizzacami stalking Slama and Watson. Waiting for one of them to make a mistake so he could take advantage. He's going to pull to the inside of Slama. Amoit has become the first car a lap down. Rickard, the last car in the lead lap, but now he's gone a lap down. He'll be able to get that back pretty quickly. But I don't think he's going to have anything for our leaders unless we get a caution. The chances of a caution now are astronomically low, but never zero. There's 30 laps to go. There's the 12, Chris Champeau. He's currently in the 5th position. He's going to do everything he can to try and hold on to it. In fact, improve on it. He gets around Mark Bentecuff. There's a Kevin. He just seems to not really be able to close this gap to James Watson. Kind of level pegging a little bit there. Got a lot of smoke. Up next to the fence there. I saw a car slowing to a stop. Let's see who it was. It's not Sanchez. Just trying to see if I can see who it is. Don't tell me it's Elliott. It is. It's Elliott. Oh no. He has hit the wall an absolute ton coming out of turn 4. And the way that car is looking, this is going to be his race done. He has a lot of speed, this 07 car. Just unfortunately, does not have the luck. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than it is good. Battle continuing to rage on here between Pizzakemi and Watson. Pizzakemi has taken away the 5th spot from Watson. Watson wants it back. Caught the apron there a little bit, did Watson. Pizzakemi trying to chase down Chris Champeau for 4th position. Watson trying to stay right on his tail though. But Pizzakemi makes the move. Watson wants to follow him through. And Pizzakemi pulls off the move with ease. Watson's going to get to the inside in turn 1. Side by side they're going to go as they come out of turn 2. Going to be Champeau with the momentum at the moment. But Watson prevails and will take over the top 5 position. Only 11 cars left on the lead lap. Travis Massia under threat of going a lap down very shortly. And laps are winding down. Only 22 laps to go right now. Tristan Health with a nearly 5-second lead over Kyle McCoy. As day is descending into night, the track lights starting to take effect on the track surface. You can tell they are because the way the track looks has just completely changed. It also means there's no sun to get into the driver's eyes as they go into turn 1 anymore. Giving them that little bit more vision. I was just having a look, and it looks like Pizzakemi and Watson actually had the same laps on their tyres. That's why they're so close in speed. Austin Collins starting to loom in the background behind Champo. Champ with 1 lap older tyres than Pizzakemi and Watson. 2 lap older tyres than the car behind him, Austin Collins. Slama looming in the background as well. He wants to get in on this action. Campo trying to defend on the inside, but Collins zooming around the outside. He'll take over P6. Champo just slides up before Slama can get his nose in. Slama's going to go to the outside now in 3 and 4. Try and use the momentum for a run down the main straight, and he'll get there. And now Slama makes that move stick. Only 10 cars left on the lead lap. And Rickard hasn't really been able to pull away from Tristan Helpel that much. He's the last car on the lead lap at the moment. 7 seconds between himself and Andrew Griezbaum in 9th. Continue to look at Austin Collins here. There is the 99 Tristan Help. Very briefly. Move back down to the mid-pack of the top 10. Darren Sanchez gets put a lap down by James Watson. Sanchez, who's in 13th position, actually having not a bad run. Especially for someone who barely races anymore. It looks like Collins is going to get around the outside of James Watson there. That is the battle for P5. Collins takes it away. He's going to try and charge after the Pizzakemi car. Pizzakemi, who pulled a little bit of a gap over Watson and Collins. About 2 seconds as Elliott back on the track. His day wasn't as done as I thought it was going to be. He's down at 17th, 2 laps down. Looks like he didn't go for tyres, he just went for repairs. We have 10 laps to go. I told you time was going to start ticking down quicker. It's always the last 30 laps when you have a long race like this. We start getting towards the end. Seems that time speeds up ever so slightly. Let's see what our leader is up to at the moment. There he is, Tristan Health. He's just gotten around Mark Pentacup again, putting him a second lap down. And he's trying to catch up to Scott Rickard. Rickard started losing time to Health over the last couple of laps. We could end up with just 9 cars on the lead lap here before the end of this race. As this got a little bit busy here. Avery McDonald getting out of the way of Watson and Slama. Slama once more trying to look for a way around James Watson. This is the other battle. Chris Champeau, Andrew Griesbaum. These guys fighting over the 8th position. Four and a half seconds between Help and McCoy. McCoy, who's just been putting in some faster lap times. Gonna have a lot of work to do if he wants to try catch up. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. He needs to go a second a lap faster. We've got 5 laps to go. The battle between Champeau and Griesbaum continues on. Griesbaum fighting hard on the inside line here. Oh, there's contact. Somehow that did not end in disaster. Chris Champeau maintains position. And he won't have liked that contact from Griesbaum. Griesbaum now looking to the outside. He's got a big run coming out of turn 2. Oh, and Chris holds him up high on entry, showing his displeasure for the earlier contact. Oh, and there's more contact as they go into turn 1. Again, how did they not wreck? It's 2 laps to go. In fact, it's just 1.5 now for Tristan Health. He's halfway down the back straight. Now, it looks like this battle is sorted. As he comes through turns 3 and 4. For the penultimate time, it's going to be white flag, last lap, last chance to win it or wear it for Tristan Health. He has 4 3/4 seconds over Kyle McCoy. He was the fastest car on the last lap. And he has just been the dominant force of this race. He didn't qualify on the front row, but as soon as he hit the front, he just did not look back. Comes out of turn 4 for the final time. The winner, the Champ Speedshop 130 here from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway with a wall tap. It's going to be the 99 of Tristan Health. P2 is going to go the way to Kyle McCoy. P3 looks like it's going to be Ken Campbell over Brian Pizzicami. Gotta wait for everyone to finish their laps here. Well done, Tristan Help, on an emphatic victory. And here your unofficial results: Health, McCoy, Campbell, Pizzicami, Collins, Watson, Slammer, Griesbaum, Champo, and Rickard. That is your top 10. There's Amoit, Macia, Sanchez, Marquez, Pentecost, McDonald, Elliott, Huckleberry, Baylor, and McCannley, who did not start. And then Horton and Pape, who also were non-starters in this race. As the burnouts begin, for the 99 of Tristan Health, we are going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we will have driver interviews, so make sure you guys stay tuned. Alrighty, it is now time for our Autism Awareness Hard Charger Award winner. And today's Hard Charger put in a suspicious qualifying time, but hey, it counts. It's a part of the rules. So please welcome to the booth our fourth place getter here tonight, the 78 of Brian Pizzicami. Brian, what happened in qualifying? And be brutally honest.
Scott and I we had a bet and challenged each other to see who could get the slowest qualifying lap.
Fair enough. Congratulations on winning that stupid little bet. But hey, also just all around, great bloody race from you here tonight. We normally see you come from the back and work your way through the field. It's a lot harder here at Las Vegas with just the way the track flows, the way you got to try and make passes, and pit strategy being so huge around here as well.
Yeah, this was an interesting one because the car did not handle the way I thought it would. It would be loose for the most part on exit, but man, it was plowing tight on entry. So it was one of those you got to kind of just find the ebb and flow if you want to put it that way. But like it was a lot of how do I not destroy a right front, but how do I not lose the cars ahead of me?
Yeah, it definitely looked like it was a bit of a balancing act, and just trying to make passes in itself so difficult as well. The momentum of the outside line was looking like the way that it was going to be to try and make passes. I saw a few times you were making some up on the inside as well.
I was just trying to put the car anywhere I could that had clean air. It was so hard to pass. So if I had clean air, I was taking it, and the bottom was the much harder spot to pass. But with the tire strategy, it made that balancing act a little easier when trying to get around others. But it at the same time, I nearly wrecked several times trying to pass on the bottom just because of how much wheel I had into it and trying to gas it off the corner.
All right, now let's look forward to next week. Our last race before we go into the playoffs. It's going to be the Team Watson Racing Setup Shop Talladega race. So, what's the feeling like for you as we take these things to the biggest, baddest track that we have on the schedule?
Uh, it's gonna be a lot of patience. That I've done a recently just did a race with these at a super speedway, and it's gonna be a lot of just time trying to time any sort of run. So it's gonna be an interesting race. It may get a little boring in the middle because there's it's hard to gather up a run, but we'll see how that goes.
And there's also the added the draft model changes they made. Half a second back, and you start losing the draft. Another big factor for next week's race.
Yeah, that's insane that it's half a second. So we'll see how that goes. I sure don't want to have to like try and fight my way back from losing the pack, but we'll see how that goes.
All right, Brian. Before we let you go here tonight, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Shout out to you in the booth. Phenomenal job as always, Corey. We really appreciate you broadcasting every week. Shout out to all the people who watched, and then also to all the drivers who put on a good show tonight. We went caution free, and it's amazing to see.
Absolutely, it is. Thank you very much for coming out. Congratulations on coming home P4 and with the Autism Awareness Hard Charger Award. And we look forward to seeing what you can do next week in the wildcard race that is the Talladega Super Speedway.
All right, thank you, Corey.
All right, so that was Brian Pizzakemi, our fourth place skater, and our Autism Awareness Hard Charger Award. Coming up next, he would have been the hard charger if it weren't for that stupid bet. But at the end of the day, he's still come home in P3. It is, of course, the Campbell Superman himself, the 15 of Ken Campbell. As soon as I pick the right button to press, Ken.
Yes, sir.
So shirtless tonight, mate, because you were on an absolute ripper for the most of this race.
Well, V-neck. That's why I didn't win. So if I'd ripped it off, maybe in that second stint, I might have had something for Tristan and Kyle. But as it was, I didn't have anything for them, and I definitely blame the V-neck for that.
It was definitely a hard to pass kind of race here. Once the field got strung out, it just made it so much harder. So what was it like just trying to figure out your pit strategy and trying to use their tires to the absolute maximum without them falling off too hard?
Yeah, so I did just a 15 laps of practice before the race, and I was like, oh, okay, the tires are really wearing here. Let's take it easy and have something long run. So the first run was in a good bit of traffic coming up with Kyle, and was just taking care of the tires. And then I was like, okay, they can kick in at any time now, and then we keep going, and I'm like, they can kick in at any time now. And it wasn't until about 20 laps to go in the run, 15 to go in the run, it kicked in. But boy, when it did, I mean, we were gone. Tristan was already in another zip code because he started up front. So knew we didn't have anything for him. But coming up through the field, like the last 15 laps, I mean, we were just flying. And I was like, okay, so let's run this out as long as I can to take advantage of that. And did so, and was about a second behind Kyle on those first pit stops. And I was like, okay, he might be faster than me. It might just be, circumstance with dirty air and traffic and whatnot. So I didn't change anything I was doing. And then he starts to pull a gap, and he's 2 seconds and 3 seconds up. And by that point, I was like, "Oh no, I'm in trouble. There's no dirty hair up in front of us, and he's just gapping me." So my big play was to split the stints instead of running long to just split it even and come in. And like right when I was gonna do that, he announced he was pitting, and I was like, "Well, there goes that strat." And so yeah, just coming in and riding around, trying to preserve the right front. I was doing a lot better on it than everybody that was announcing what they had. I think they said somebody might have blown a right front. Really, the big thing, there was a 20-mile-an-hour wind going into turn 4 that I don't think people realized. And so if you slid up in front of them and took away that air coming out of 4, that 20-mile-an-hour wind would just push them right into the wall. And so a lot of guys got damaged from that. And so that last run, I was really just trying to keep clean air on the nose and make sure that I didn't get too close to the wall there.
Yeah, I definitely saw quite a few cars getting up into the wall, and I do believe at one point McCoy was even one of them. But you guys, you always seem to magnetize towards each other in these races, especially on these mile and a halves. What is it about you guys being 15 and 16? It just makes you just gravitate towards each other.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been racing with Kyle like 4 years now, something like that. And so yeah, he was way out in front of me. He's been racing a lot longer than I have, and so I did the catching up. And then I was like, okay, I've got something for him now, but obviously not tonight. But yeah, I've actually learned a lot from him just watching him race over the last 4 years, and he clearly, is hiding some stuff and not telling it. But yeah, usually whoever is in front of the other and can utilize the dirty air to keep the other one back there, they're in a good spot. I think I came out on that front in at Iowa, and so it can definitely be frustrating being behind him because he knows how to work the air so well. But it's really fun battling Kyle. He's a fantastic driver and great guy, and so I love having battles with him.
All right, now let's look forward to next week. We're going to be going to Talladega. So, what's the feeling like for you as we head into the deep south of Alabama?
Well, that is my home track, and that is my favorite track. So, yeah, love it. Absolutely love it. Come over to the house, we'll have a barbecue, and then go over to the race.
Oh,
So, but no, so Talladega is my favorite track. I love that you can go 3 and 4 wide and get lots of runs and be able to take them and just work with stuff there. It's so much more open than Daytona and Echo Park. And so by far my favorite track that we go to. And yeah, it's my home track, and I usually do pretty well at the plate tracks. And so yeah, definitely looking forward to that one.
Well, I'm definitely going to take you up on your offer for a nice barbecue. I haven't had a good American style barbecue in a very, very long time. But before we let you go here tonight, Ken, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, as always, shout out to my wife and kids for their support in everything that I do. Shout out to Simrat Market for making the Campbell Chevy look fast on track, and Team Conti Sim Performance for actually making me fast out on track. Everybody here at Output, all the admins do a great job, all the drivers do a great job, and you do a fantastic job up in the booth every week.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming out, Ken. Congratulations on coming home P3, and we look forward to seeing what you can do in your home state of Alabama.
I appreciate it.
All right, guys, that was our third place getter here tonight, the 15 Superman himself, Ken Campbell. Coming up next, we're going to have the other half of the, I guess, career-long battle between these two. It is, of course, the 16, our second place getter, Kyle McCoy. Kyle, I was just saying to
Hey,
Ken,
Corey.
you two always just seem to gravitate towards each other on these mile and a half tracks. What is it about you guys being, the numbers next to each other that just makes you gravitate towards each other?
Well, Ken's a really good driver, number one, so that always makes it a challenge to keep him behind you. That was fun driving through the field with him. We had a blast kind of coming up from, I don't know, where we were 12th, 14th, somewhere in there, just kind of taking our time, methodically picking people off one at a time. And I could tell right away he was going to be kind of a challenge to keep him back there. And I kind of wanted to get off strategy, do something different than what he was doing. And he just followed me right down pit road both times. So there wasn't really anything I could do, but try to outrun him on pace. And for whatever reason, I had some tonight. So that was exciting. But yeah, it's always fun racing with Ken. He's a great driver, and I love racing him.
Now, you're already pre-warmed up before this race, having a win in a previous league race, doing 200 laps of Dover. What is the race fitness like for you, mate? Is you went from 200 laps of Dover in the Xfinity car being tight as crap, and coming here to Las Vegas in these Gen 4 cars.
This is also tight as crap. Yes. It was I'm sore right now. I'm super sore. Well, I usually do some CrossFit classes about 3 times a week, and I'm coming off of one of those today. So honestly, like as helpful as it is, it's not very helpful if I'm going to run those kind of races that go green. I mean, both races went green. We ran 300 some laps without a break, and that's a lot. So it was fun. But about 20 to go, I was really feeling it, and I'm like, man, I'm not going to catch him. I just got to chill and not put myself in the fence before we get to the end of this thing. So, yeah, it's a I always tell people this is quite a workout, and it's not easy, especially when you're going fast and trying to overcorrect, uh, try to keep your car underneath you. There's a lot of like precision that goes into that, and it takes a lot of focus and just a lot of just like physical endurance. So it's fun. It makes it exciting. That's one of the things I love about it is it's a challenge. So yeah, that was one of the bigger challenges tonight for sure, with both races going green the whole time. But wouldn't trade the finishes, that's for sure.
All right, now let's look forward to next week. We're going to be going to Ken's stomping grounds with the Talladega Super Speedway to end off our regular season. What's the feeling like for you as we head to the biggest, baddest track on the schedule?
Yeah, I'm excited to get another shot at the plate tracks in this car. I ran myself out of gas last time at Daytona, so I'm gonna try not to do that this time. But I'm excited to go back and draft again because I felt like I had a good handle on it last time and kind of had a way to. I thought I was gonna out strategize the field, and then I just out strategized myself. So I'll work on not doing that next week. But I'm excited. It should be a good time. And, I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to hopefully this finish locks me into the playoff chase format here coming up. So that's exciting, and yeah, we'll go try to pick up a win maybe next week.
All right, now before we let you go here tonight, Kyle, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, shout out to Tristan. He had us covered tonight, so that was tough trying to run him down. Shout out to this field putting on a green flag race. Really fun. Shout out to this league for always putting on this type of clean, hard racing. I mean, it really is a huge challenge to come in here and race these guys because they're all so good, and we are able to put on respectful races together, and that's what matters. So huge shout out to you guys, and shout out to you for putting on the broadcast. I'm gonna be excited to go back and look at this one, see what things could have done different. I probably should have qualified. That would have helped probably quite a bit, but that was a fun track, and I wanted to enjoy it with the rest of the buds in here. So yeah, it was a good time, and thanks for putting it on. We appreciate it.
All right, Kyle, thank you very much for coming out. Congratulations on coming home P2, and we look forward to seeing how you don't run out of gas next week at Talladega.
I love it. Thanks, Corey.
All right, guys, that was our second place getter, the 16 of Kyle McCoy. Coming up next, we're going to have our winner, and it was a very Christian Bud like performance because he is one of the only people who can mix it up with Christian Bud in these races. It is, of course, the 99 of Tristan Half. Tristan, no Christian Bud tonight, no Christian Bud next week. It's going to make things easier for you, but you, as I said, one of the people who can actually mix it with Christian in these races. Um, Definitely made things a little bit easier for tonight, but you just had so much pace. As soon as you hit the lead, you just didn't look back.
Yeah, not having Christian makes things a little bit easier. But that last run, I was getting a little worried about Kyle because we were matching lap for laps and he closed in about a second on me. But that whole race, once I got the lead, after 15, 20 laps, because I knew tire wear was going to be big. I just was not pushing the tires hard and not sliding them around at all. So I was just trying to maintain a pace that wasn't abusing the tires, and it just kind of worked out for me once I got into clean air.
And I did notice a couple times throughout the race, one big moment in particular that we caught on the broadcast, that wind coming through turn 4, pushing you towards the wall. You caught it once or twice, didn't you?
Uh, yeah, I did it there, especially there at the end. I know a couple times I did, but I was already cracking tall boy number 3 at that point, and I'm like, man, I hope they don't see this because I don't want to have to explain this.
Well, we saw it. Time to start explaining.
Yeah, yeah, I was about halfway through, but tall boy number 3 at that point.
uh, I love hearing that. So comfortable with the race lead. You're going through a couple of tall boys and just hit the
Oh,
fence. But at least it wasn't so bad that you lost the lead.
yeah. I mean, I still know where the break is after a couple, so just back her down a little bit. I didn't even know there was a 20-mile-per-hour wind. So we're in there waiting to come in. And Ken's like, yeah, well, I don't think anybody knew, but there was a 20-mile-an-hour wind going in 3, and I'm like, wow, that would explain why it would start getting tight on entry there going in 3. Like, what?
Uh, but yeah, it was definitely a good race from you though. But let's look forward to next week. Gonna be going to Ken Campbell's stomping grounds with the Talladega Super Speedway. What's the feeling like for you as we head down to the Alabama gang?
Uh, well, I do like drafting. I do like draft tracks, but I am more reserved. I don't like to make a lot of bold moves. Kind of like to ride and stuff like that. So, funny story. I thought Talladega was tonight, so I bought 4 tall boys. So I got another one to go. Uh, so next week I'll have another 4, especially for Talladega.
Absolutely. Look forward to watching it. But before we let you go here tonight, Tristan, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
My buddy Ryan at work, he watched tonight's broadcast at work. Awesome stuff right there. That's a true G.
Absolutely. Big shout out to Tristan's mate who watched the broadcast. But Tristan, thank you so much for coming out. Congratulations on what was an absolutely dominant victory. And we look forward to seeing what you can do next week when we head to Talladega.
Oh, thank you. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I just love these cars so much.
All right. Well, thank you very much. That was the 99 hour winner here tonight, guys. The 99 of Tristan Houff. That's going to wrap things up for us here tonight. Thank you all so much for coming out, whether you're watching at work, home, or school. And we look forward to seeing you guys next week. But until then, I've been your commentator, the Aussie Sim commentator. We'll see you guys at Talladega.